Every act of betrayal begins with a decision. For Chief Emeka Okafor, that decision came the moment he watched his apprentice receive something he had never expected another mechanic in his workshop to earn: respect. The applause from the apprentices slowly faded as everyone returned to work, but Chief Emeka's anger only grew stronger. He said nothing. His silence was far more frightening than his insults. Chinedu had no idea that the greatest danger in his life was no longer hard work or humiliation. It was the jealousy quietly burning inside the man he called his master. As evening approached, one customer after another drove away, leaving the workshop almost empty. The apprentices began arranging tools, cleaning oil stains from the floor, and preparing to close for the day. Still smiling from the unexpected reward he had received earlier, Chinedu carefully folded the bundle of naira notes and placed it inside the chest pocket of his grease-stained overall. He wanted to take the money home to his widowed mother. For the first time in months, he imagined buying food without worrying about the next day. While sweeping the workshop floor, Chinedu bent down to pick up a heavy spanner. Without noticing, the bundle of money slipped quietly from his pocket. It landed beside a vehicle without making a sound. At that exact moment, Chief Emeka saw everything. He looked around to make sure no one was paying attention. Slowly, he walked toward the money. He stared at it for a few seconds. Then he picked it up. Instead of calling Chinedu, instead of asking whose money it was, a dark idea entered his mind. He closed his fist around the money and waited. Several minutes later, Chinedu finished arranging the tools and instinctively reached into his pocket. His smile disappeared. The money was gone. His breathing became heavier. He searched every pocket on his overall. Nothing. He checked under the workbench. Nothing. He searched beside the vehicles. Still nothing. Panic spread across his face. The apprentices noticed him searching desperately and began helping him. Then, Chief Emeka stepped forward. Without warning, he raised the bundle of money high into the air. The workshop fell silent. Every eye turned toward him. His face was filled with rage. Before Chinedu could explain anything, Chief Emeka loudly accused him of stealing money from the workshop. The accusation echoed across the compound. The apprentices froze. Customers waiting outside slowly turned back to see what was happening. Chinedu's heart almost stopped. He immediately fell to his knees. He shook his head repeatedly. He tried everything he could to convince his boss that the money belonged to the customer who had rewarded him earlier that afternoon. He pointed toward the repaired SUV. He reminded everyone that the customer had handed him the money in front of the other apprentices. Some apprentices nervously lowered their heads. They knew Chinedu was telling the truth, but no one dared challenge Chief Emeka. His word was law inside that workshop. Chief Emeka refused to listen. His anger became even more violent. Without hesitation, he slapped Chinedu across the face with such force that he crashed onto the oily workshop floor. The entire workshop became silent. No apprentice moved. No customer spoke. Even the sound of working engines seemed to disappear. Chinedu slowly lifted himself from the ground. Tears rolled freely down his face, not because of the slap, but because the man he had respected had chosen to destroy him. Chief Emeka grabbed Chinedu by the collar of his overall and dragged him toward the workshop entrance. He threw him outside in full view of customers and passers-by. Then he threw Chinedu's small nylon bag after him. The bundle of money remained firmly inside Chief Emeka's pocket. The workshop gate slammed shut. Just like that, months of loyalty, months of sacrifice, months of silent endurance ended in a single moment. Chinedu remained seated on the dusty roadside long after darkness covered the town. People walked past him without knowing the battle he had just lost. With swollen eyes and a broken heart, he finally stood up and began the long journey home. When he reached their small family house, his widowed mother immediately knew something terrible had happened. She saw the dirt on his clothes. She saw the marks of the slap on his face. She saw the hopelessness in his eyes. Without asking many questions, she gently cleaned his face and allowed him to pour out everything that had happened. When the story ended, the small room became silent. Then his mother placed her hands on his shoulders. She reminded him that people could steal money. People could steal opportunities. People could even steal someone's job. But no one could steal the knowledge he had spent months learning. She encouraged him not to allow bitterness to destroy the future he had worked so hard to build. Those words planted a new seed inside Chinedu's broken heart. He did not know how, he did not know when, but he silently promised himself that one day, his skill would speak louder than the lies told about him. What do you think you would have done if your own boss falsely accused you after months of loyalty and hard work? And if you think Chinedu's story has reached its lowest point, wait until you see how one unexpected phone call changes his life forever in episode 4. If you're enjoying this series, like this video, follow for the next episode, and share your thoughts in the comments. Sometimes, the people who reject you are unknowingly preparing you for something far greater.